Good evening, everybody. Welcome to CatSCAN News Live. Not just because this model is a cat, but I have cats, and one is on my lap right now, purring his heart out. He's very happy. I should not be yawning. Oh, and why is it here? Let me get it. There we go. Make sure show my mouth move better. Why you? Oh yeah, they need. Yeah, they'll get their second dinner soon. Yes, I did say second dinner. They're spoiled. And oh, hey you. Thanks for coming. Uh, yeah, and well, not too much scanning the internet for news tonight because it is Friday, which means HLC. Oh, Marmalade, you're fine. You're fine. What was it saying? No, I didn't watch it. Do the, let me hurry up and switch. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. Gotta start to. I was trying to get
Heads up,
the.
beans on toast once.
Yeah, I had to stop because for some reason we're showing I already watched some of the episode, and no, I hadn't. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's see what they have to say this time.
Poland! What do you want this time? Oh. Oh, that wasn't me. That's weird when he exclaims for somebody that isn't me. Hey, Poland, heads up, beans on toast wants something. It is only because you took in my troops when the Germans had taken me out in World War II that I'm even allowing this conversation, along with the Pioran and the Blaskovika. So,
Mm.
what do you want? What America call you? Beans toast. Your parliament, your government just signed into law that people on your border, your security on the border, can use lethal munitions when people try to cross into Poland illegally.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but there was somebody who crossed into my border in late 1930s that I did not have enough bullets to do that. So what's your problem now? I swear I'm never going to live this down. That's why you don't pick on the Jews. They never let anybody forget. That's just incredibly racist. Why? What if what happened down in Spain happened at your border and you had thousands of people just trying to get away from discrimination?
They are not trying to get away from discrimination, you idiot. Oh my gosh. Yes. And yes, this is quote unquote fictional, just making up what the countries would say to each other, but there are people who act like this, and they're beyond stupid.
And the terrible policies of their country, and they're looking for a new opportunity. There's a lot of people, yeah. A belt fed and mortar should solve problem.
I fuck with Poland so unbelievably hard right now.
And how's it racist? It doesn't matter what color you are coming into Poland, you do it the legal way. If you are illegal, I'm sorry. Face the wall. Not really. They're usually running towards you. And after the first couple bullets, they all run away.
You know, he's got a point. That's kind of like equal opportunity access denial.
No, it's denying impoverished people the freedom of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's kind of my thing. You can use that argument on me, but Poland, not so much. I'm sorry, what you say, United Kingdom? I can't hear you over call of prayer and being the safest country in the European Union. So speak up a little bit. Maybe remove your penis from goat?
Kind of fucked up the accent, but still, so good.
Look, aside from the evilness of this border murder that you have now legalized, what about all the missed opportunities of people coming into your country that could invent wonderful things?
No. No. They're not. They don't want to invent new things. No. They're not.
Then they come in the legal way. Why is that so hard? Seriously, you want to come in here to Poland, you follow the rules of Poland, you assimilate to the Polish people. We do not change because of you. I know this is very hard for you to understand, you being an Islamic nation and all, but Poland doesn't need these people. My GDP is growing at higher than expected rates. We have a ton of legal immigrants who come in here to Poland and make us great. I don't need people randomly crossing my border and overwhelming my welfare systems. Why? Are you stupid?
Yes.
I mean, a little bit, but I'm also told I'm a lot of fun. Not you, Raptor. We love you here in Poland. We just wish our friend America would sell you over.
Aw, the kid is getting some love from Poland. He really needs it. He does not give. Oh, yeah, I like Eleanor. Well, the software, yeah, she's a free model, and the software labels her as Cammy, but I like the name Eleanor. So, I do cat. I just like she's cute and makes me happy. And even if the news doesn't.
Here so we could, we'll build you your own personal hangar and runways. It'd be so nice. I'm sorry, Poland. Congress outlawed it. Kid, no. Oh, yeah, heaven forbid I go to a country that actually knows how to treat a man, touch him right.
Oh, well, this is what happens when you won't give the kid an intercept. He needs one so badly. He's been wanting one for months or years now and always gets denied.
You know, this is domestic violence. You're holding me against my will.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I want to see how America responds to this.
You are both an inanimate object and a weapon of war that is highly classified. Kid, even I don't go overseas with all the bells and whistles. Didn't you crash in the last episode? One of me did, but we all kind of share a consciousness. I mean, seriously, can you imagine HLC killing off characters and having to come up with new characters for similar aircraft? Like, what if you crashed? I have no idea what that feels like. Maybe because I make physics my bitch. Okay, hurtful, but also they would riot if they killed you off.
I would be there to save you.
Oh,
I know you would, but I'm not gonna crash.
oh, now he's friends with that thing. Okay, they brought it back. Well, I don't know how I feel about that.
I thought we were done with the demon goat devil thingy. Oh, thank God. You guys see it too. No, I've turned over a new leaf. Dude, it's pretty cool. We have a lot of the same interests. Plus, Franklin's been riding him around the woods at night. I think he scared the living shit out of a couple of farmers. Okay, back to the news. New Mexico. You did something that I didn't expect. You sued the federal government. The federal government is actively withholding unredacted information from what Epstein did at his ranch here in New Mexico. We want it to be public information.
He had a ranch in New Mexico?
So that way,
What?
we know who to fillet and hang.
Holy shit! Man, that cartel infested fucking drug overdose capital of America is really swinging for the fence on this one. Didn't see that one coming. I'm on your team, New Mexico, for the first time like ever.
Buff, respectfully, you're pretty conservative.
I mean, yeah, I really think that all police dogs should have their attack words not be in German, but instead a racial slur. It's equally secure. But what's your point?
Whether you're a professional
Of course
or
it'd be a
just love
stupid
getting
ad
hands-on
now.
with your home projects.
Come on.
Anyways, what if one of the, or several, conservative politicians are on that list?
Oh, I know nuance is lost on the internet, but let me just break this down for you. Hang them!
Yeah.
I don't know why that's so hard to understand. Like you can lean towards one political party, but it's perfectly reasonable to draw the line at diddling kids.
That's actually fair, and I think that that's a good position that all Americans should be in. Look, I know the system is inherently flawed, but also we need to understand that being friends with someone doesn't always mean that you're, I mean, a lot of times it does, but doesn't always mean that you're doing said terrible things. All individuals under the law are innocent until proven guilty, and once they are proven guilty in a court of law, beyond a reasonable doubt, Then hangings, wood chippers, spikes, whatever you want to do, iron bowls, In some rare good news, a 97-year-old woman here in England has now set the world record for being the oldest wing walker.
I thought walking on biplane wings died out in like the 30s or 40s, or are you like weaponizing old Karens? I wonder what that would do.
It's still a phenomenal accomplishment to do that at that age. Yeah, there's another record that's going on right now. The youngest black professor at Cambridge University in England is now resigning after weeks of alleged plagiarism accusations.
You mean to tell me?
Buff, this is low-hanging fruit and you know it. Stop. Be an adult.
Fine. I won't say anything about a young black man stealing something that didn't belong to him in order to make an accomplishment. I won't say nothing about that. I'm genuinely curious. Why, maybe he should have been let go sooner. I'm not sure how. It's dangerous to Cambridge University, okay? I'm just saying it's dangerous, not because of the color of his skin, but because the smoke detectors in his classroom probably didn't have fresh batteries.
Suddenly I realize I have drastically underestimated the amount of racism kept inside that plane. Okay. Politicians need to understand it doesn't matter who's down here, brother. They can get these hands out on the beach if they run their mouth. That's like a weird Irish thing. I'm sorry. My Hawaii is terrible. Oh, yeah. That was some politician on the beach running his mouth when people asked him to turn down his music. Got straight knocked the fuck out.
Beating up politicians, huh? That's not tar and feather, but I will accept it.
Speaking of politicians, America, what's going on with this Max Miller individual?
What's going on with your politicians there? UK? Got a lot of questions for them. And I'm afraid. I don't think I how to phrase this right. Yeah, I know. I do want to visit the UK. Well, I mean, technically, I visited England back in 2003. I would like to go back, but I don't know. I got no problem mouthing off. I don't like the politics over there right now.
Yeah, there's really no way to beat around the bush on this one. So he is running for re-election in Congress. His former father-in-law is a senator, and his ex-wife called him out for abuse. And then several other women had called him out for abuse. And then he accidentally, on one of his social medias, posted a completely nude photo of his 2-year-old daughter that has now been taken down.
Yeah, I think for something like that, we need to build like a modern-day gallows with a vertical feed wood chipper. Just walk him up there and be like, congratulations, pull the handle, and he just drops right in.
Okay, that's... I had not heard of this. That is not okay. I don't know why would you, hey TJ and Stingerman, why would you have a picture, and Superlane, hello. Why would you don't need, why would you have that picture of your, why? Yeah, okay, just a minute. Yeah, I'll go back just a minute. Okay. Yeah. It will go back a minute.
He is running for re-election in Congress. His former father-in-law is a senator, and his ex-wife called him out for abuse. And then several other women had called him out for abuse. And then he accidentally, on one of his social medias, posted a completely nude photo of his 2-year-old daughter that has now been taken down.
Yeah, I think for something like that, we need to build like a modern-day gallows with a vertical feed wood chipper. Just walk him up there and be like, congratulations, pull the handle, and he just drops right in.
Yeah, look, I know that politics is gross, and they will use literally anything they can to try and make someone look bad that they don't want to get reelected. And I was kind of on the dude's side when it was just his ex-wife. I'm like, yeah, my ex-wife probably has some terrible things to say about me, but his retort to a lot of the accusations is not good. And can we just stop electing idiots? I mean,
Okay, so he's responding to the backlash of the picture, and it sounds like he is not. Well, I know nothing about this until now, but okay. If he is not acknowledging he made a mistake and did anything wrong and is just being insulting to anyone who brings it up, yeah, yeah, his hard drive should be checked. Okay? And yeah, there are thoughts. I have many thoughts right now. But let's just keep going and we'll get back to them.
here's the thing. One of my close friends, Brandon, running for office right now, and they are just trying to dig up anything to make that man look bad. I guess that means I'm never running for office.
The problem with American politics is nowadays they don't get into enough physical altercations or duel each other on the White House lawn. I'm telling you, I could run for office, I could get elected, but then you turn on the 6 o'clock news and be like, Congressman HLC was arrested on Capitol Hill today when he went, quote, over the table at another congressman.
Tell me the world saw that FPV drone hunting down the random vegetable farmer in Ukraine.
What? Okay, now we're going to Ukraine. Yeah, I wish if I had that Tangia voice clip, I would have played it. Now we have drones chasing, I guess it's a Russian drone, the FPP or whatever, chasing Ukraine farmers. Let's look Ukrainian farmers. Let's see.
That was
Oh my goodness.
I really have no way of fighting back against that. It's pretty bad.
What you're trying to say there is that's a war crime.
I should know. Kind of a professional at these things. Yeah, Russia, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay, if you drop a big bomb and some civilians die, that's considered collateral damage, right? Like people who were too close to the target and the threat. That FPV drone specifically played Ring Around the Rosie around this dude's van as he was running for his life. Luckily, he survived. But there is zero excuse for that. So it was a small wartime fuck up. What you going to do?
Yeah, Russia, your whole special military operation against Ukraine has been a screw up. And you've lost, my understanding is you've lost so many more of your military than Ukraine has. Of course, yeah, your civilians I think are mostly safe, except for the bombing the other day, and only one civilian died then, I think. But yeah, still, you got problems. You got problems. You ain't got no room to talk.
Issue another subpoena from the International Criminal Court? And who's going to enforce that?
Fucking me, you big punk ass.
When education works for you, everyone wins.
Oh yeah.
Affordable. Learn more
Yeah,
at
Buff would do it for
WGU.edu.
Russia's mom. We know that. Yeah, because then they'd have the house to themselves.
Buff, relax. He's right. This is why no one takes the International Criminal Court seriously. Because you know who enforces it? Me. The big player on the planet. That's it. No one else can do shit about it. Our initial plan for the Strait of Hormuz is that no American or Israeli ships will be allowed through. And if you in the world helped out America in their quest to destroy me, which they are losing,
Only on the internet, every single other measurable metric of warfare you're losing. Continue.
if you helped America, you will be charged 20% of the overall gross value of whatever you are shipping for safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Just great. Now even more inflation. What a fucking backseat crusader. Shut up. Also, Iran, where is that information coming from? First of all, that's
Okay, just backtrack. I want to say, calling UK a backseat crusader, they need to bring that back and have it be front seat now. That's that's what I have to say about that.
It's not gonna fucking happen. But second of all, where are you getting this plan, this deal you came up with? From the supreme leader who is currently in hiding from the Western bombings and destruction, but you will never touch him. He is the future of our nation. Oh, the one the president of Iran said that he met in a car that was completely blacked out in the middle of the night, had a 2-minute conversation, and when he left, he wasn't even fully convinced that he was speaking to the Ayatollah. So your country's being led by ghosts. Got it. Normally, I'm super nervous about ghosts and ghost stories. They freak me out. But how does a ghost story with a ghost Ayatollah end? That night, I heard scraping at my door, and when I awoke, all of my goats were pregnant. You can try and hold out as long as you want to, America. I know you're running low on munitions.
That's incorrect. I will hold the people accountable.
Okay, yes. All the goats were pregnant. How many goats are we talking here? And the scratching at the door, were the goats inside the house? Because goats are messy, just so you know. Would not want goats inside the house.
Who are spreading that misinformation, and I'm going to continue to fuck you up.
Yeah, this part is a little more nuanced, and everyone is talking about it, and everyone is using the same percentage regardless of munition, which is a statistical improbability. For example, they say that we've used 80% of our long-range HIMARS and ATACMS munitions. Okay? And
Mars got a mention. He'll be happy about that.
we've used 80% of our interceptor inventory, along with 80% of our THAAD interceptor inventory, and 80% of all long-range munitions. Statistical improbability that those numbers are accurate. Also, the overall weapons count is classified information because you don't want the enemy to know. Iran doesn't want us to know how much they have left, whether it's high or low. Do we have less than we did before we started the conflict? Yes. But as a matter of national security, the only people who would know exactly what we have would base that off of whatever threat profile they are trying to combat. For example, West Taiwan. Do we have as many munitions as we had before the conflict? No. But do we have enough to handle West Taiwan? Somebody in a position of authority would probably know that. So then why are you putting out all these contracts to get more interceptors, more long-range munitions from everywhere in the world? So you're saying, your argument is that when I use munitions, I shouldn't get new ones. Also, Homeboy fired into like 8 different countries, almost all of which use my interceptors. I gotta have more of them if I'm gonna sell more of them.
Look, I've been around for a hot fucking minute, and this John Q. Public, you want to know when you should get worried? Okay, check this out. During World War II, okay, a little before my time, but I remember talking to Great Grandpa Mitchell, and yeah, okay. During World War II, Americans were only allowed to buy gas on certain days of the week because the rest of it went to the war effort. We had to change the amalgamation of everything. All brass and copper were used for bullets. Auto manufacturers shut down and started making weapons of war. Hell, LG, or maybe it was GE, I don't know, one of those things that makes fucking light bulbs, they started making the VT fuses, the little glass vial that sits inside there full of acid. When you start seeing American manufacturers that make other shit stop and start making weapons of war, then I would be fucking concerned.
This game does not have energy limits. This game has no daily login streaks, no pay-to-win shop telling you to spend more. You build your own galactic outpost, expand your territory across the stars, and the game just lets you play.
That's a very logical and nuanced look at it. That makes perfect sense, and it gives a clear indication of when the stockpiles are critically low. That's literally everything Americans need right now instead of fucking clickbait.
Yeah, now I want to talk about these government-owned grocery stores and how in the fuck they're getting paid for up in New York.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to end well.
Because obviously Zoran Mamdani has never taken a fucking economics class.
Oh, here we go.
No, it's not a here we go. It's supply and demand. You buy things, you sell them, or you buy them and you use them, okay? So let's say he's gonna do what he says he is gonna do, and everything in there is gonna be up to 30% cheaper. Cool, great. That's fucking wonderful. Are you buying them 30% cheaper? Probably not, because most grocery stores operate at a 1 to 3% profit margin. So you're starting in a fucking deficit because you're not gonna buy them from farmers. You think the farmer's gonna go, oh, I can sell it to the government for 30% less, or I can sell it to this mom and pop shop for 30% more. That's fucking dumb. Also, now you need a library card, is what they call it, to use these stores because they don't want people coming from out of the city or out of state abusing them. Holy shit. Wait, wasn't it racist for people to have to use an ID to vote because poor and impoverished people couldn't get IDs, but we're expecting them to get a fucking library card?
Well, yes, but some of that money will be recouped because they're not going to have to pay like property taxes because it's a government thing, and they're going to buy like old buildings, and they're not going to have to worry about like overhead costs of rent and things like that.
Great job, nerd. Now, who's going to pay for those buildings? Who's going to pay for the renovations? Who's going to pay for the maintenance? Who's going to pay for the fucking staff? Exactly. So, and then also, if you have people in there on welfare, which, hey, you know, if you got to be on it, you got to be on it. Hell, HLC grew up on fucking food stamps and still ended up fat.
I'm down 26 pounds. Continue, please.
Ooh, good
What
job.
I'm saying is the taxpayer is already paying for these individuals' food stamps, who then potentially go shop at this government grocery store where they're operating at a deficit already, which means you're getting a double deficit from the fucking people who are just bleeding the system dry, and the taxpayers are going to pay for everything because guess what? All the rich fuckers are going to leave.
So, cheap groceries bad?
Oh, you beautiful fucking troglodyte. No, cheap groceries are good. Anything ran by the government's fucking miserable. The
Aww. Oh, now the poor kid is a troglodyte. This is... Poor guy. He wouldn't be this way if they could just get him that intercept. How long has it been now?
problem with socialism is eventually you run out of everybody else's money.
That was Margaret Thatcher you just, quoted. Rather proud of you, Buff. Quoting a Brit.
Yeah, and she's fucking turning over with your let them eat cake policies you have for your own fucking people. I hate this world. God, I can't wait till they just tell me start dropping nukes. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, I had not heard about Max Miller. I have not heard about the Ukraine farmer being attacked by drones. But I will say, you know, from a strategy standpoint, yeah, if you go after the farmers of the country you're trying to invade, that will do a lot to weaken the country. With no farmers, no food. Period.
Last week, Todd posted
Oh, is that
this.
stupid
I
ad?
had a
Oh,
dream
shut
that I
the...
drank a can of cola.
That's the
But yeah, and I had never heard of Max Miller running for office, and I know there was that other guy running. The recent politician I heard about running for office was some guy who someone did a drive-by shooting at his place. No one was hurt, but I mean his family was there. You know, they might have been home. You know, wife and kids might have been home alone at the time. I can't remember. But yeah, no one's been caught. No nothing. He's not continuing to seek getting elected. He dropped out of the race. And that, I don't know what his name is. Let me look it up. I am gonna watch new. Yeah, there was some Toasty video I wanted to see. But yeah, okay. Marmalade. Okay, careful. Just be careful with your claws, please, little guy. Thank you. Yeah, you can sleep right there. That's just fine. That's a good boy. You know, you're a good boy. It's okay. You go back to sleep. Oh, let me just reposition myself. Oh, now that he's not in my lap anymore. But, Yeah, there was some guy. Yeah, North Carolina. Oh yeah, that happened in February. Yeah, this was the lone politician thing I remembered. Yeah, and as I recall, very little action. Very few people did anything about it. Yeah, Marin, and he was going for, yeah, county commission seat, local. Yeah, it's just a local position, and I think there's been nothing about the person being caught. And people think, like, people think even Texas is, Texas is a red state, Texas is safe. No, no, it is not. It's going purple. It is going like, and just like people think Oregon is blue, the area I lived in was red, but the major metropolitan, Portland, Salem, the big cities in Oregon, just like Austin and to some extent Dallas here in Texas, they're not exactly red. No, it's the big hubs, and that means lots of money. And that's the problem. It's not the money talks. The money talks. Let's put it that way. And it's talking for it like in Oregon, it would talk for everyone in the state because we were a small little rural county, nowhere near the resources Portland or Salem or Eugene would have. Just not how it works. Oh, yeah. And but let's go back to Atosi now, because I know there was. Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to see. Yeah, I watched this last night, whatever. Oh, no, not last night. Wednesday. I watched this one Wednesday, and oh, DM Squid's thingy. Okay, I have to quit. Give me quit notification. I want to see what eBay. I was curious about this because I used to I spent way too much money on eBay back in the day.
To kill 99.9% of bugs trapped.
I did.
With no odor and no mess.
I don't even know where the stuff I got from eBay is now. Let's wait. Hurry
Create
up and
PDF
get
spaces in a click. Connect your
This couple criticized eBay, but they definitely didn't expect that this would result in stalking cockroaches and somehow a pig mask.
This morning, eBay has agreed to pay nearly $56 million to a Massachusetts couple after several former eBay employees targeted and harassed them with bizarre and gruesome deliveries.
So much anguish, so much conflict.
This bloody pig Halloween mask was just one of the items that Ina and David Steiner received at their home, along with the funeral wreath and live cockroaches and spiders.
So eBay has officially agreed to pay millions of dollars to a Massachusetts couple after one of the most bizarre corporate harassment scandals I've ever read about. And I know, corporate harassment scandal sounds very boring on the surface. However, this one's not. We have quite the story here today.
Yeah, I know nothing about corporate harassment. I mean, I would think of stuff like the well, it wasn't actually corporate. It was the oh, JP Morgan or whatever, the guy employee tried to sue JP Morgan for a bunch of money claiming sexual harassment and stuff, and then he was the one basically trying to harass the woman the lawsuit. This looks like it's something else. I want to find out exactly what the complaint, what these people said about eBay that pissed employees off so much.
I mean, we have live cockroaches involved, spiders, there's a bloody pig mask, a funeral wreath, threats, people following people, and an alleged plan to put a GPS tracker in someone's car. And I mean, at one point, members of eBay's security team was apparently on the verge of breaking into this couple's garage to install that tracker. And all of this allegedly started because eBay executives did not like what two journalists were writing about their company. So the couple at the center of all this is Ina and David Steiner. They live in Natick, Massachusetts, and they run a website called E-Commerce Bytes. And E-Commerce Bytes is not exactly TMZ. The Steiners, they've been covering e-commerce since the late 1990s. Their site is mainly aimed at online sellers, and they report on companies like Amazon, Etsy, and now obviously eBay. Ina does a lot of the writing, and part of that job means occasionally writing things that these companies probably don't want to read about themselves, which is, you know, called journalism. But according to federal prosecutors, some people inside eBay apparently started treating Ina Steiner less like a journalist and more like some kind of like mortal enemy. So the New York Times reports that in the spring of 2019, eBay was already under pressure from an activist hedge fund. And during this period, some of Ina's reporting was seriously getting under the skin of executives at the company. One article apparently covered a bar that then CEO Devin Wenig had built on eBay's campus. And internal messages later revealed just how heated things were actually getting behind the scenes. So according to the prosecutors and the Steiners, Wenig sent a message to eBay's communications chief, Steve Weimer. And this is in August of 2019. And that said, "Take her down." Okay, what? Who is this guy? Does he think he's the Italian mob in the 70s or something like that? I don't know, but Winning has maintained that he did not know about the harassment campaign that followed this. And his lawyers have said that messages like this were about using a public relations strategy to respond to Ina's reporting, which to me, take her down doesn't really translate to, hey, let's start a well-planned media campaign. Well, whatever floats whoever's boat, honestly. So, okay, Wenig was never criminally charged in connection to this campaign, and in a statement after the latest settlement, he said the harassment was done in secret and without my knowledge. But here's where it starts to get pretty uncomfortable, because after Wenig said take her down, then his communications chief told the head of security team to do whatever it takes. I don't know about you, but that's pretty eerie to me. And other internal communications uncovered during this case weren't really calming things nor making things too much better. So according to the reporting of the lawsuit, Weimer at one point referred to Ina as a biased troll who needs to be burned down. What? Dude, if that's what they think about some journalists, I wonder what they think about Mark Zuckerberg for pulling up and eating his lunch with Facebook Marketplace. Because it seems like these guys operate like, I don't know, 1970s Italian mob. What is this, eBay or Los Pollos Hermanos? I mean, it seems like Gustavo Fring is running the show over here. But regardless, former senior vice president of global operations, Wendy Jones, was also accused in the civil case of telling eBay's security chief to deal with the couple off the radar. Again, okay. Crazy work,
red
crazy
flag.
wording, but again, it gets worse because
basically off the radar means no record. No record means you are not following procedure, as in the law. That's no. Yeah, off the record means you don't want any evidence. And yes, I got candy in my mouth, sorry. But yeah, if you want to do it, and here's the thing, whatever, I haven't even heard what the bad press is. If you got bad press about some facet of your business, how about fix it? It just would have been $56 million cheaper.
just imagine being Ina Steiner during all this. You're sitting in Massachusetts writing articles about an e-commerce website. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away in Silicon Valley, senior people inside that company are allegedly talking about you like you're some final boss in a John Wick movie. And the Steiners had no idea what was about to show up on their front door. So eBay, I don't know why I almost said EA Sports right there. So eBay employees created what the former U.S. attorney from Massachusetts would later describe Live is a systematic campaign fueled by the resources of a Fortune 500 company to emotionally and psychologically terrorize this middle-aged couple and Natick. The Steiners started getting threatening messages online, then came the packages. Live cockroaches were sent to their home, so were spiders and fly larvae. And if you're thinking, okay, someone at eBay watched Fear Factor or something like that and they just turned it into a corporate harassment strategy, yeah, it gets a whole lot worse, because they then sent a bloody Halloween pig mask, a funeral wreath, and a book on surviving the loss of a spouse. Yeah, that's an awful look. Like, I'm sorry, what?
Playing on
Also,
iPhone?
let me get
Now
this
you can
out of
play
the way.
Unlocked
Minute,
on PC
I
with
got more
Google
to
Play
say.
Games.
Excuse me?
If you want them to leave you, like, they don't even know where it's coming from. They don't know this is eBay. This is not going to encourage them to change talking about eBay because they have no context.
Sending someone a funeral wreath, that's creepy enough, but sending a married couple a book about how to cope after one of them dies, that's not a subtle message whatsoever, and that's coming from a Fortune 500 company? Really? And the campaign didn't stay online or in the mail, because members of the eBay team actually traveled across the country from California to Natick, Massachusetts, and they surveilled the Steiners in person, and they followed them around, and they wanted to put a GPS tracker on the couple's car. And at a certain point, it really does look like an actual plot, and not just some sort of like crazy scare campaign. Just saying, this does not look good whatsoever. Apparently the security team got to a point where they were on the verge of breaking into the Steiners' garage so they could secretly install the tracker. Just think about how insane this escalation really is. This started with executives being mad about some articles online, and suddenly we have now arrived at people traveling roughly 3,000 miles across the country and preparing to break into a journalist's garage over some...
Yeah, and like I said, they could have just fixed whatever the problem was. Or did they not think it was a problem? I mean, like, if you have business practices that are negatively impacting your business, you change them. Or just put out a press release about it and say this person isn't. There's so many cheaper. Well, yeah, because you see right here in the title of the video is $56 million. But yeah, you could have saved so much money in the first place by just addressing whatever complaints people had about your company. Even if you put a letter out saying, we're working on this, or just some fake BS PR stuff, you still could put that out, press release, and there never would have been a problem. You would have been free and clear.
Articles online, and this is a Fortune 500 company. My fevered body can barely comprehend this. This is insane, which is why I'm sitting inside with a jacket on, even though that it's like 75 in my room now. I'm sure I'll get better soon, but back to the video. Because there was even more happening. The group were posting fake Craigslist ads using the Steiners' home address. I do like that eBay was using Craigslist for something here. Cool. They also allegedly sent explicit magazines to the Steiners' neighbors. There was apparently an entire plan behind the chaos. The harassment was supposed to make the Steiners feel threatened and overwhelmed. Then, according to the criminal case, members of the team planned to have eBay step in and offer to help Ina solve the harassment. Dude. What? Would that not be a little bit suspicious? Suddenly your life is just in full chaos after you made some articles on eBay, and then they're like, hey, we can help you. And then suddenly your problems go away. Honestly, this is some like Nathan for you level stuff. The plan, create the problem, terrify the victim, and then allegedly show up pretending to be the good guy. What could go wrong? Nah, that's giving eBay too much credit. Nathan's plan would actually be better. I'm still just kind of stuck here dumbfounded.
I never watched you or Dexter for that matter, or A Silence of the Lambs, or any of those sequels, prequels, whatever.
Data. The Fortune 500 company eBay did this. The website you go to because you need a replacement remote from a television they stopped selling in 2009 did this. So, I mean, luckily, the Steiners, they
part of me wants my old big wooden console TV back. I could play my PlayStation 2 on it, and my Nintendo, and my Super Nintendo. And it was so big, no one's gonna really steal it. I mean, yeah, I was able to move it myself because I was young and stupid and didn't. Yeah, I had ways to do things that I would not do now. I would probably kill myself if I tried them now, but yeah.
Realized this wasn't just some random internet harassment, something much bigger was happening. So they contacted attorneys while the campaign was still going under, and those attorneys actually helped them get the Natick police involved. And eventually the FBI became involved as well. And this is where the whole thing started to unravel, because once those investigators started figuring out who was behind it, it stopped being this bizarre mystery involving, you know, cockroaches and pig masks. It became a federal criminal case. And once federal investigators started pulling the thread, they found that this wasn't just like some rogue employee doing something stupid on company time. No. 7 people connected to eBay were eventually criminally charged, and they included members of the company's security team and a former eBay contractor. And all 7 of them ultimately pleaded guilty for their roles. And one of the biggest names was James Baugh, eBay's former senior director of safety and security. Basically, the guy's job involved keeping people safe was now accused of helping run a campaign designed to terrify 2 journalists. You hear something new every day, you really do. But Baugh eventually pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 57 months in federal prison, nearly 5 years. Other people involved, they received prison sentences or home confinement. But there was one part of the story that continued to bother the Steiners, the executives, because while members of the security team, they were prosecuted, the Steiners believed the people higher up the corporate ladder had helped set everything in motion. So the New York Times points specifically to those internal messages. Take her down, whatever it takes. Those aren't really good messages to have or to send as an executive. What do I know though? They weren't charged, so I guess they were just silly little messages. The former CEO, Devin Wenig, has repeatedly denied knowing about the harassment campaign. I feel like a big question here is what responsibility does an executive have when their words travel down a chain of command and something actually happens on the other end? I mean, if this was a
McCormick has flavored the world for 135 years. Because one bite can do this, and this, and this. McCormick, make your best.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value.
a criminal organization, they would get taken down. But this is eBay, big dog eBay over here. Obviously, those weren't orders. They were just reading a dictionary and leaving out a whole bunch of words. But Ina Steiner told the New York Times corporations have armies of security people and they can be weaponized. I mean, just looking at the harassment they received, it seems like that might be the case. Like, this whole situation is so crazy because on one side you have a married couple running a trade publication out of their home in Massachusetts, and then on the other hand you have eBay, a $50 billion company. So essentially just a megacorp with money, lawyers, security personnel, and resources that two independent journalists could have never came close to matching. And eventually the federal government went after the company as well. So in 2024, the Justice Department criminally charged eBay with offenses including stalking, witness tampering, and obstruction of justice. And the case was ultimately resolved through a deferred prosecution agreement. eBay agreed to pay the maximum available criminal fine of $3 million and undertake corrective measures. Then there was a civil case, because the Steiners also sued eBay, the former executives, and the other employees back in 2021. And through this lawsuit, they gained access to roughly 68,000 internal documents, which gave them something they really wanted from the beginning: answers. Because imagine going through all this and not really fully understanding why it all happened. And for years, the Steiners kept pushing to find out, and they actually came really close to taking this whole thing to trial. But an initial settlement was reached last winter, right before the case was supposed to go before a jury. And then that deal apparently fell apart. So the Steiners actually asked the court to put the case back on the trial calendar. So a new trial date was eventually scheduled for January 2027. A trial potentially would have put years of internal communications, testimony, and evidence in front of a jury while asking one of the biggest questions hanging over the entire case. How much responsibility should the people at the top have for what happened at the bottom. But that trial is no longer happening because on July 27th, the Steiners announced that they had reached another settlement, and this one stuck. The total value of this was $55.7 million, and of that, the Steiners will receive $48.7 million directly. eBay is paying $46.15 million. Former CEO David Wenig is paying $2 million, and former Senior Vice President Wendy Jones is paying $500,000, and former Communications Chief Steve Weimer is paying $50,000. But it does actually get a little bit better because eBay also agreed to fund another $6 million in charitable contributions to nonprofit organizations, and Wenig will separately donate $1 million to a charity dedicated to protecting First Amendment rights in Ina Steiner's name. And there is one detail that I thought was pretty cool because there is apparently no confidentiality provision, so the Steiners are allowed to talk about what happened. So Ina told the Associated Press, David and I were on the same page that the settlement should and must be made public as victims who want to prevent something like this from ever happening to anyone else, and as reporters who believe in transparency. I mean, that is just awesome. And it also makes perfect sense considering this entire nightmare started because people wanted them to stop reporting. Like, imagine surviving all that and then ending the case by signing an agreement saying, okay, now we can't talk about it. No, it makes sense they would push for that. And there was also another unusual requirement because according to their attorneys, eBay agreed to issue a strongly worded public statement concerning Wenig, Weimer, and Jones and the company's culture in 2019. So what did eBay actually say? Well, they said the 2019 conduct is not representative of eBay's culture or thousands of employees around the world today. Well, I guess they said something. eBay since then has also said that it brought in new leadership and strengthened its policies, procedures, controls, and training. And when the New York Times asked about the strongly worded statement involving former executives, an eBay spokespersons pointed to the language saying the unprofessional tone and internal communications demonstrated to the different degrees and number by Mr. Wenig, Mr. Weimer, and Miss Jones. And I am sorry. I guess unprofessional tone is really doing some heavy lifting there, but one could say forgetting best regards at the bottom of the email. That could be an unprofessional tone, but I don't know. I guess next time a mega corporation says that someone needs to be burned down, nothing to worry about, just some unprofessional tonality going on. Regardless, though, I mean, these are just the things that you kind of read and go, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Well, the Steiners have spent years trying to make sure that people don't just like remember this as the weird eBay story with the pig mask. No, they wanted people to know how it happened. And they wanted other journalists to be able to write and make content around other powerful companies without wondering whether the company that they might be covering could or maybe would use its money and resources to come after them. And in this case, whatever happened inside eBay ultimately ended with 7 people pleading guilty, a $3 million criminal fine for the company, years of litigation, and now a settlement worth nearly $56 million. Bravo. David Steiner ended up also saying, I look forward to having, with whatever time I have left on this planet, fun with life, doing things that we enjoy to do. And hopefully that involves never opening another package containing a cockroach for the rest of his life. So that was the story how eBay decided to stalk some journalists one day. If you're interested in another deep dive, you can check out this video right here. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Now, at McDonald's, wake up to a $4 breakfast meal deal. Wake up to a sausage McMuffin or a sausage biscuit. To hash browns, and wake up to a hot coffee. Get your...
Yeah, I don't think I'm buying from eBay for a while. Yeah, I don't need... I don't need that. I did buy... Yes, I did buy stupid things. I think... Well, actually, it was just a couple... No, last year. I think I bought something from eBay last year. My Godfather's Pizza Coca-Cola pitcher, because had one grown up that we got from the pizza place, and unbeknownst to me, Mom sold it, and had I known she was going to do that, I never would have allowed it, but I had no clue, and the good news is, you can find I found quite a few of them on eBay for like $15, maybe 20 with shipping. They weren't that expensive at all, so that was good. So many memories. I know it's just a picture to most people, but I like it. And I was glad I was able to find it there, but that might be my last purchase on eBay. It was a while ago. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I heard nothing about this at all. And this was years ago, and yeah, it was just of course, it started in 2019, so the next year COVID hit, and so this story probably got buried in the COVID stuff. I mean, yes, it's now, like I said, the civil trial was still going on and stuff, but after the criminal trial, but it didn't make much news when it first hit, I guess, and I mean, it was reported, but it didn't go viral, so to speak. It's like, whatever. People had other things to worry about, and now it's done. Oh. Oh, Atosi posted this 3 minutes ago, and so I got 284 views. Perfume YouTuber facing 18 years in prison for scent scam. I might watch that a little bit later. It doesn't seem like that. I mean, yes, it's a scam, and that's not good, but yeah, just watching that thing on eBay, I don't think what this guy did is anywhere near on low what eBay did. And yeah, security forces of the company. I know people want to talk about it being fictional. I mean, well, bringing, I think of fictional examples of that, like in Final Fantasy VII, the Shinra Corporation, and then Resident Evil and the Umbrella Corporation, and all stuff. You know, there are private security firms and stuff out there. It's not corporate security team. It's not that unusual. It's not as far-fetched as people want to believe it is. The fiction gets its ideas from somewhere. Just think about that. If you have stomach for it, and let's find something. See what else. Oh yeah, that's. Oh, there was something Rev did. Where's Rev's video? Oh. Yeah, you know, he covered Smugglana getting banned or suspended or whatever you call it for a week, reacting to a video that's one thing that really upsets me about YouTube. People will get a strike for reacting to a video, which they do under fair use, claiming that the video they reacted to is somehow against their TOS or something, but they will never remove the original video. They leave it up, no problem at all. And like, okay, why is the video when they're reacting to it bad, but not the original video itself? Yeah, it doesn't work that way. That's not what logic is. And I want to see what this hot diggity demon is. I've heard people mention their names, but I have no idea what it's about.
Anything is possible on Cloud9. Upgrade your combo or
I went to
32
Raising
ounce drinks
Cane's
to
for
a
the first
Cloud9
time
cup while
yesterday.
supplies last.
The
One
chicken was great.
Dance is more than just using your body. So much of dance is in your expressions.
Squinting has likely...
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So I'll be level with you all. The topic of today is a pretty dark one, a pretty abysmal state of affairs all around in this situation. It's a situation that involves the popular YouTuber and artist Hot Diggity Demon, also known simply as Max. He's been around the
Okay, and for the record, I have never heard this person.
scene for a very long time, but currently is facing the wrath of Twitter freaks who are dredging up edgy jokes he made in 2015. Yes, 11 years ago. Jokes that he even apologized for, and using that as a justification to wish the end of his life, among other heinous comments, as you can see from this collage of degeneracy where people are thinking he should end his life because of those edgy jokes from 11 years ago, and other users warning if you defend him or have any empathy for his situation, karma is going to catch up to you next. Now, this is my stance, hot take, but you're not a bad person because you made an edgy joke 11 years ago. You are a bad person if you're using that to justify someone ending their life. That's what a bad person actually looks like. But all of this relates to a recent stream from Max titled A Perfectly Normal Stream. And during it, he talked about his current life circumstances, some of the chronic health issues he has, and how it's been debilitating for his life and also his financial hardships. And he revealed that he was planning on raising money to take a trip to Switzerland to receive medically assisted end. Okay, I gotta say end like some TikTok brainlet, but this is YouTube and you can't say certain words on here either, but you get what I'm saying. A truly sad situation. It's very sad to see anyone think that's the only way out of their current problems. And this was reported on social media here, just going through exactly what I just mentioned. But you'll notice that the post has a community note, a bit of an update, and some more context. So Max would make 2 tweets. Number 1 saying he's just kidding about all this. And then the second one, he says, decided I'm not thinking clearly, will reassess, and then includes a crude drawing of a naked woman for some reason. But given his sense of humor, that's not too surprising. But when it comes to the reactions to this, obviously, very hot topic and also a very dark one, but nothing can prepare you for the level of toxicity you're about to see. Let's start off easy with ones like this. I don't care. His cartoons and views have only harmed the youth and fueled edgelords everywhere. Honestly, F this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, behold, the empathetic good people. Here's another one saying, I would care, but he used to be racist. So, well, we're going to see what they're referring to in people. Here's another one saying, I would care, but he used to be racist.
Okay, sorry, that was my little thing. I hit the wrong key and made it play back that segment, but, okay, someone used to be racist and they're not anymore, so we should be mad at them for not being racist. Okay. So, I will say that chronic health I am speaking personally, chronic health conditions are not fun. No one chooses to have chronic health conditions. And sometimes there's not really treatments out there for them. And you just have to deal with it. And that's also not fun. And let's see what else is going on.
So, well, we're going to see what they're referring to in just a second. But this is like a very convoluted post. Number 1, you're saying he used to be racist, implying he is no longer, but you still think he should end his life? Crazy. Also, they're using a Always Sunny gif. Like, I'm sure there's much edgier jokes in that franchise than anything that Max has ever done. But here's someone in the replies to that previous post saying, thank you. I keep seeing stuff about him on my For You page, and they list off all these horrible, irredeemable things that he did back in 2015. And here is the context. 2 edgy joke drawings he made about Steven Universe, and this is it, right? This is the entire context, ladies and gentlemen. He made these and even apologized for making these 11 years ago, and people still won't let it go, including individuals like this in a now forcibly removed tweet saying, F yes, take that, you skinhead racist.
What I notice about that person is blue sky. Look, it says they are blue sky. Okay. Thank you for making it clear where you're... What we should... Oh, wait, did I... Oh, no, no. Oh, who cares? I'm just trying to keep it...
Rot in hell. Now, of course, like I said, their post was forcibly removed, but they made sure to let everyone know by posting the screenshot and then pinning it to their account like a dunce cap, showing how insane and unhinged they are. But then again, you look at the account saying this stuff. ACAB, 28, they, them, ace, lesbian, ADHD, Latina.
At Farmers, we're making insurance simple and honest.
That is correct. We cannot sing any lies.
So, no hiding behind fine print.
For the record, he dies is there to hide the gray.
Honesty. It's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Everyone does it.
Enjoy a full meal plus premium chicken bites for just $7. It's the $7 Big Deal Meal.
Lurking because this site sucks, but I need to be aware of what's going on in life. The average Twitter freak, ladies and gentlemen. Also, imagine being 28 years old and acting like this over edgy drawings someone made 11 years ago. Absolutely diabolical. But here's some more quotes that are still up, saying, people are trying to mourn this racist piece of crap. Of course, this is a very racially charged situation because that's what people want to do with the situation on Twitter. And again, you can see the type of people doing this. First of all, take that cross out of your name, you absolute demon.
Okay, Ref, I wanted to call him a demon. I would call him a Pharisee, but whatever. Yeah. First thing.
And then they call themselves the realists. And underneath, the realist is a he, they. Many such cases. But here's another individual, another very tolerant and progressive one, saying karma will come for you. And to those white people in your comments who somehow get the audacity to forgive him, your apologies will mean nothing until us people of color accept it, and we never will. And your disability does not excuse for your racist, harmful remark.
Okay, you might not forgive him. You don't get to tell anyone else who to forgive or who not to. Don't start, lady. If you are a lady, I don't even know. No, I really care. Yeah. And if you want to talk about racist, notice they said white people. Yeah. That's what they said.
Well, luckily this person is getting dunked on 64 likes, 244 comments, absolutely destroying them. But it's very rich for people like this to talk about karma. If there is karma, it's people like this who are going to be on the receiving end of it for this insane behavior. And then you also see this person claiming on behalf of people of color. This is the user. Think of that what you will. But going through their account.
Oh, they're Korean, okay. Oh, they've been a member for quite a while, though.
It wasn't enough to make that statement. They added another one saying to all the white people who come from my comment to say your slur about.
Yeah, again, white people. They have issues with white people and want to cry racism.
About me. Karma will come to you. Ready to face the consequences in the future? This one's an all-time hit. No likes, 27 comments, all just saying, you're a terrible, awful person. This is the average progressive person where words mean someone should end their life. And they think karma's coming for the people who might empathize with someone like Max in his situation and not care about an edgy joke he made 11 years ago. But this whole situation, again, is just incredibly sad all around. But also, I want to point out one thing. You can go through the quotes, and even the quote-unquote positive ones, they all have this sort of, like, qualifier to them, right? They're like, oh, I really don't like him, but, oh, he's a terrible person. However, it's so gross. Just don't say anything. Like, if you need to put in a qualifier to make sure everyone knows how progressive you are and that you don't stand for all of his terrible, awful behavior, while then trying to virtue signal about how he doesn't deserve the circumstances he's in, you're an absolute joke. Like, just don't say anything. How about that? Just keep your mouth shut. There's no qualifier needed here. This guy who made edgy jokes 11 years ago doesn't deserve his circumstances or to lose his life. You don't need a qualifier, okay? You don't need to say, oh, you bad person. However, no. Either drop the qualifiers or say nothing at all. It's really that simple. On top of that, this quote raises a very relevant point, saying, the general reaction to this proves that no matter how much you change for the better, the internet will never not see you as your past self and choices, no matter how much you've clearly grown and matured past it. And that is a very depressing way to view a human life. Nail on the head, a really good way to wrap this up. But again, this whole...
And well, also want to point out that if any of the people complaining too, if this, because the pronouns, did you notice the pronouns in some of the profiles of people who commented? Well, just a minute, Marmalade. I got it for you, Marmalade. Hold on, buddy. There you go. Go get it. He found he wants to use his toy, and I had to make sure he can get to it. Because he's a silly boy who keeps trying to hide his toys and then can't find them and then gets upset and destroys my stuff. But anyways, if the people using pronouns who come after him, yeah. And because if they want to be viewed as a different person now than they used to be, but that only applies to them. It doesn't apply to other people, apparently.
Thing is extremely sad, and I feel very bad for this guy that at least at a point he considered this the only solution to his problems. I hope he finds some peace in his life and something can be done that doesn't end up with the ultimate price, so to speak. But anyways, that's going to do for this video. If you enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams every week live here on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Keep your confidential information classified with Adobe.
Okay, so that's what it's about. Okay. Someone made a tasteless joke 11 years ago, and people want to dogpile on him now because of it. Because internet. That's why. And I'm tired, boss. Dude, these people are okay, oh wait, just a minute, I gotta stop recording and start again just for a sec.